Welcome everybody to the RGN Pro Series. This is our European region and we are in the lower bracket. This is the first lower bracket match that we are broadcasting and honestly should be an awesome one. Space Soldiers versus Numbers X Property lineup. And Space Soldiers didn't necessarily display certain things that we were expecting from them in their last match, but they got another chance to show it here and now, and I am Sprawl by my side, the one and only Laser Jesus, and it looks like Numbers, they're going to throw multiple people up second mid, and it's a lot of mid presence here.
Yeah, going for banana control as well is Twist, so Numbers have gotten control of mid, but they don't show any signs of falling back. They smoke up porch side, try to isolate the guy onto Arch. Got to get this frag quickly as Despy's about to get a teammate coming through to help him. That Xantar is showing up in just in time. Trades, though, for Numbers. And now only one guy to beat inside of the site, and Numbers are going to take this pistol round, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to take into the B-bomb site here. Only coming up from Banana, 2 Gucks still from CT spawn. So 2 on 3, the bomb now just getting set. They do not have a kit in hand, and there's going to be 2 players on the T side already inside of construction garden area. So, like you suggested, looking pretty darn good here for the elite team, if you will. Devilwalk taking a little bit of damage at New Box as he's being pretty smart about it, though, not peeking too much. So 35 hit points remaining. Only is going to get dropped. Twist with a nice headshot. Zendy tries to come up from behind, will lose his head, but it's going to be 2 Gucks, tries to find another frag, but even without a kit there, time was ticking. So, nice pistol round pickup from the T side in Numbers. And again, this is their map choice. Second map is going to be Dust 2, which is Space Soldiers map choice, and that was the map that they were able to take in their best of 3 to kick things off here in bracket stages. Mirage, that's going to be a random third.
Yeah, and Numbers recently having a good showing against Na'Vi on Dust 2, who is extremely formidable on that map. So, not sure if that's going to bode too well for the Space Soldiers and what you were talking about earlier, but what we didn't see from the Space Soldiers, what we usually expect to, guarantee their success or give them a good chance at success, is Xantares had a very quiet showing in his last outing in our bracket stage here. So, against Property or X-Property, we'll see if he can deliver as he usually does. Man, statistics are just through the roof. They almost seem fake how spread out he is from his teammates.
Right, you would think that it's like, oh, maybe this guy plays a couple games here and there, but in reality, actually, they play quite often. Yeah, his stats are pretty darn good, and they're going to find a nice frag here onto Devilwalk, and it's actually going to cue some aggressive banana control from Despy as he comes up on the flank, but in the meantime, Numbers already getting control of the A bomb site. So coming in from Library, it's going to be Xantares. He's going to find Zendy. As Despy goes down, he's going to get dropped as well as Xantares. Only everyone. E1. He's going to get dropped by Twist. The UMP frag comes out. And not bad. Twist, get $600 per frag. Poff and Schneider using weapons that only give them $300 a pop. But not a huge deal as they make it through that forced up round from the CT side. And they do so without losing too many people. Again, only 2 players going down.
Yeah, not bad at all. Now just going up to the AKs. Got a Galil on the board as well. For the Numbers for Space Soldiers this round. Not investing a lot. Just a couple P250s and a flashbang. Pop flash about to sail over Banana. And we do have a player here waiting. So if the Space Soldiers can get Twist down and recover his AK, we might have an interesting round. But as it stands here, the Numbers are doing a really good job of just ensuring trades. And that's what got them their success on the pistol round as well, because no Space Soldier was allowed to get a kill without a trade coming through. Just as I say that, Xantares pushes down Banana, gets the AK. Now, this might change into something interesting.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Oh, Devilwalk, though, going to flick behind and will take down both Banana players. So that AK out of commission, and look at this. What a smart strat is. They realized they just took out both players, wrapping from Banana. Let's just go into CT spawn and wrap it back to B. We avoid a lot of the potential threat that would be at that A bomb site. The downside to this is they're going to allow 2 Gucks to run right down mid and grab an AK for himself. So if he wants to save this, which honestly wouldn't be a bad idea, he's probably going to, again, just bring that into the next round. Yeah, just going to save it at T-Stairs. Good stuff for Toot. Never mind. He's going to peek, and he will die to Devilwalk. So Devilwalk with nice hat trick on the round. Again, took down those 2 Banana players early. And that's where it was threatening. Xantares with that AK. Could have started lighten people up, but it's going to be Numbers to take the round 3-0 quickly here on the T side.
Yeah, you can see a lack of nades on the Space Soldier side as well. Had that AK been saved by 2Gucks, could have afforded some more, and you'd, brought that thought into my mind before, is how much money your money is worth compared to your opponents in certain situations, and that AK was way more valuable to Space Soldiers than it was to Numbers in that scenario. Space Soldiers going for some Hall's aggression, pretty pushed up is 2Gucks, and then they're sitting on a crossfire inside of mid. Numbers, very traditional approach to Inferno here. Waiting for the early smokes to go down from the Space Soldiers. After they wait those out, get Halls and Banana control, and then go from there.
Yeah, Schneider and Twist just working Banana together, and Pop actually looking to get aggressive up into the bedroom back halls area. Nice pop flash, as if someone was in bedroom, they would have been very, very blind, but that was actually an interesting pre-fire. I think Devilwalk kind of scared Pop there. He actually almost tapped him away, but he did just barely miss his mark. And now with top mid control, where do the T's want to go? Despy's playing a pretty nice angle here in Library, albeit with an M4A1S, and it's going to be Schneider to peek him out. Does spot him, and he's going to miss the shot, though, as he gets fully white screened as soon as he fires it. 2Gucks from truck. He's got only inside of the site, and it does look like Leet with 20 seconds left going to rotate back over to B. And how well does Space Soldiers read this?
Yeah, they're not leaving themselves a lot of time here. Now they just got to make it through Xantar's only player left to defend this. Barely going to get the bomb down. 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Trying to spam him through the smoke. No, the bomb is going to go down, but 2 players of Numbers go down all of a sudden. Suddenly only Schneider here, sitting at Banana all alone with the op. The bomb is planted for him. So many Space Soldiers alive. Misses his first shot. And generally, that spells your doom in clutching with the AWP. But one thing I want to point out that the Numbers did as well is they didn't upgrade with Devilwalk in another player. They had a P90 as well as a Galil instead of opting to go for the AKs. Kind of going with the mindset, if you're ahead, get more ahead by trying to bolster your economy by not upgrading. Now, had they had those weapons, could the round have been different? Sure, but still with the full buy here is Numbers.
Yeah, the interesting part is that they do put the op on the field, but then keep some of those lesser weapons. So the fact that Schneider saves that is actually pretty critical, as now, obviously, he has a team full of actual really good weapons. Not that the Galone, the P90 are that bad, but definitely AKs across the board. That's going to be what Numbers ordered in this round, and it's going to be a quick shot up mid. That's going to be Schneider. He will be smoked off, so decides to fall back, and not a big surprise there. Twist going to send a nade, actually a Molotov, right up to the top of Banana. It's going to allow him to at least control the real estate a little bit here, as the Space Soldiers are going to send a smoke down, and we'll see how the T's decide to take his Numbers. They seem to be, again, shifting back and forth. Pretty darn good at, again, working the openings on this map, as, again, if you got Banana control and Apartments control on Inferno on the T side, you really are keeping the CTs in the dark, and that's why they have been able to make these kind of large rotate plays. And Space Soldiers, it's been a little bit difficult to read for them.
Yeah, had they not got that multi-frag through the smoke, it's probably going to be a Numbers round. Numbers is doing everything right at the start of the round. However, if they can't get the entries into the site, it's not going to matter. E1 gets another one over towards Banana, now trying to wrap in from Arch side is Numbers here. And already rotated one into CT spawn. Despy from the Library doesn't go down, and this is looking disastrous for the Numbers this round. At this point, just try to get some frags on the board. Zendi onto Xantares. Now, if they could take down this Banana player, E1 playing from the new boxes. Not so new anymore, I suppose, but Zendi dropped by E1 and finishes off the round. Space Soldiers winning 2 in a row, and now starting to grow their economy.
And they're going to be able to grab an op here, too. 2Gucks picking that up. So nice recovery there. As, yeah, like you were mentioning, those new boxes have got to be damn old by this point. But anyhow, another story completely, as Numbers, they do not have a ton of change to work with here. So save round coming out. Space Soldiers finally able to break the economy of the T side. And where do they decide to go with things? As Twist does pick up armor, but the rest of the squad just going with pretty much upgraded pistols. Schneider with a deagle, with an HE grenade and a smoke, and they're going to try an aggressive Banana here, but not working out so well for them. Devilwalk with one. Schneider going to get one for himself as well, so drops Xantares, and That's a bit of a foot race here. If he can make it into the bomb site quickly enough, should be able to get a bomb plant, but instead decides to play inside of the smoke. Tricky play here. It's going to be 2Gucks to dive on through, but apparently he can see through the smoke a little bit better than Schneider can, and that's going to be 3-3 as Space Soldiers. They take that one. Two frags on the round, though. Numbers is going to be all right with that. Again, keeps the economy kind of evened out on the CT side.
I'm surprised that he was able to see through the smoke better. I'm starting to suspect something of these Swedes.
Right.
Their eyes just work differently or something. I don't know, but I guess the Turkish do too. But now all tied up. Space Soldiers doing a good job. And it's interesting to note that Numbers is doing everything right at the start of the round. Generally, we see CT teams go for some early aggression like we see this round. Despy getting an opener onto Devilwalk at mid. And now going for Hall's control as well. Usually after you get that first frag, you fall off and continue to have your advantage. But Numbers taking the round right back in their favor. 2 for 2, and now only one guy to beat inside of the site. That's Despy with the up. Already got one this round. That's 2. Peeking, looking for Pop. Early misses him. Down to a 2-on-2, and only one CT here early. But that is quite a deadly CT.
Oh yeah, Xantar's already on the scene, and he's going to drop an incendiary right where they did have that bomb planted. And it's going to force Twist off a little bit here. Twist and Pop.
Twist off.
Pop just, yeah, see what I did there. As Pop is going to fall to about 45 hit points as he was trying to traverse through that Molotov or incendiary, but Xantar's still on it. He's going to take down one. Could he get Twist as well? The smoke is definitely preventing him from doing this in a timely manner as Twist just lurking in the depths here. Xantar's trying to spray him down, but Twist going to be able to clutch the round. Nice round from the Numbers side as now they will bring things back momentum-wise into their favor. CT side, they did build up a bit of a bank from those rounds, but again, that's where those rounds come in, where they lost 2 players and that kind of thing. Would have had a lot more to play with here, but in reality, they've got Only and Despy. They've got a decent set in terms of monetary situations, so they're going to drop a couple players. So they will get a buyout here, but definitely not necessarily the optimal one that they were looking for. And interesting that Despy, the old school player here, as he goes with the CZ75 sidearm with the op, and we'll see if that ends up biting him as we
likes
witnessed that
to live
yesterday.
dangerously.
Right? I just can't agree with it, but to each their own.
Now coming in towards B, Xantar is an E1 lined up. Xantar is trying to let that FAMAS go, but instead goes down, and Numbers with a good entrance into the B bomb site immediately, following Schneider back to Banana. Wary of the flank coming through, but nobody flanking for Space Soldiers, and thinking about saving in this 4-on-3. Yeah, that's the plan. And going into some of the strategy between these two teams, not in this round, but the previous one, Space Soldiers, it was the first time that they went for some CT gun round aggression. They got Despy down mid, he got the frag, but then they continued to aggress Halls is in peak porch side, which is interesting to me because on their other gun rounds, they've just sat passively the entire time. So Space Soldiers, they're a little inconsistency in their decision making, and Numbers is going to take advantage of that all the time.
Oh yeah, they are definitely experienced enough on that T side that they know what advantages and opportunities they're looking for, and that's why in some of these rounds they're just kind of like spreading out a little bit. Again, taking Banana control if they can, as well as Apartment's control, and again, that gives you a lot to work with on the T side as keep the CTs in the dark and kind of rotate back and forth. Find that openings that you are looking for, and now Numbers with already 5 rounds on their T side. CT side obviously saving 3 weapons there. They are going to force up around it, Xantar's and E1. Grabbing some 5.7s and such. And a little worried about this B bomb site for the CT side is in that last round, without any smokes and such, that was just good trades from the Numbers end, just kind of bully their way in. And it worked out great for them. But in this round, they're just going to put 2 players over there to try and kind of distract the CT side. But they are going to put some players in backhauls as well. And 2Gucks actually went down to 19 hit points as they were trying to aggress out backhauls, but now they will fall back over towards Boiler. I'm still again in backhauls. It's only Devilwalk peeking out, and eventually we will see a frag over towards B, and this is where things now are wide open for the T side, as they've got so much information on both sides, and the decision is completely theirs if they rotate back or not.
Yeah, ball is in their court. Despy does hit another op shot on Zendi, and now Numbers falling back towards B here. Relinquish the site for the time being. Space Soldiers. Xantar's is on his way back, and Numbers constantly shifting back and forth, and now they want to hit up towards the apartments. Got to highlight at the start of the round, Numbers realizing that Despy still had his AWP. Don't take up middle at all. They take up alternate mid to get the Hall's control. And they got it eventually. Now Xantares takes off the head of Twist, and on their way already back inside of the B bomb site, or A bomb site, excuse me. And Space Soldiers, they're just getting juked out of their shoes right now.
Yeah, Despy tries to fire a shot as they move onto the bomb site, but now planted situation. Schneider going to be playing at Graveyard here, halfway up the stairs. Pretty neat position. Poff up on top of the box. They got a nice crossfire. Poff get a switch to a nade though. Despy peeks around the corner, but Schneider will be able to blindside them. Both CTs now coming up from truck side. Only and Xantar's. Xantar's getting dropped very low. They trade 1-for-1. Only Xantar's versus Poff. With 9 hit points, it's going to be Poff. Wow, what a shot though. Takes him down to 12 HP, but not going to matter. Poff not able to save a weapon either, but nonetheless picking up the round, and that's not fun at all. Again, for Space Soldiers, as Numbers just getting pretty dominant here on their T side. And again, this is kind of what I expected a little bit. Numbers looking to be a pretty good Inferno lineup. And again, on their T side, they've got pretty good control. Like, it's not like they're just guessing and jumping in these situations. So they're reading the situations fairly well.
And the way they're moving back and forth, and they're taking advantage of all the Space Soldiers' mistakes. They, in the end of that round there, just a little bit off with their timing of them engaging at both Porch as well as from Arch side simultaneously. And Numbers took full advantage of that this round, trying to come up into the Arch side, trying to split, but they're walking straight into Despy. We're down to a 1 versus 1 here. Trades galore, and now settling at Despy versus Schneider. I have to say advantage, to Schneider here, because Despy has no clue which side he's coming from. However, Despy does have the bomb down, so he's going to be able to set up on top of that. They spot each other. No, Despy didn't see him. Schneider did. 7-3 for Numbers.
Yeah, Despy could have played that a little bit better. It's hard to say, because again, in his mind, he thought he was making the right move, because again, where he suspected the T was coming from was not where he was at, clearly.
Yeah.
But again, you gotta play a bit of the information game and play a little bit ninja-like, possibly, to try and get the locational advantage, like Devilwalk did, for example. Again, Schneider there, just kind of taking it slow, and once he spotted him out, then they make their plans accordingly. But anyhow, it is going to be another Numbers round. Despy, though, once again getting the mid pick, so that's nice for him, but traded off immediately. And he's on the bench, but
he got stuck on the wall.
Oh, man. That has got to be super, super frustrating for the Space Soldiers here, as, again, they just haven't been able to gain any traction. 3 rounds in a row. That was 4 through 6. But that's been the only success that we've really seen. There has been some close scenarios, especially that last round, but it's Numbers that has been able to squeak it out.
Yep, just barely. But keeping that momentum going. Economy not too good for either team that you'd expect after winning so many in a row that Numbers would be more well off. Now with the opening pick, they're going to go hit towards B, and Space Soldiers made the decision to stack a bit towards A. Choice you have to make when you lose one player on Inferno. Now taken in to main. E1 on to Pop, trying to get the trade. Xantares is on his way to get one. The trades are so fast from Numbers. I expected Xantares to get way more out of that.
Yeah, they get that flick onto him, and now it's 2 Gucks and only. 2 Gucks going to make it into construction early here. Schneider and Twist both playing front site together near Grill. One at the patio, actually. They're both going to reside on the same side as Schneider checks back towards Spindle, but that's 2 Gucks who's made it up from that location. And this should be a 2-on-1, but no, Twist gets the first one. Can he get the second as well? 2 Gucks able to clutch it. And very critical that Space Soldiers finally bring a round in. But if I'm Numbers, that's best case scenario for me. The one round that they do win is a 1-on-1. So they are not going to have much economy behind this at all.
Yeah, only problem being for Numbers is their economy isn't the best either. So going to have to go with Devilwalk with a Tech 9. But as you're pointing out, Space Soldiers' economy is in the same situation as Numbers. And Numbers doesn't have as much pressure on them in this situation as Space Soldiers does, because if Space Soldiers drop this, it's going to be 8-4, and they're on the save, potentially looking at a double save. Going to have to force up if you want to have, a better half. or just give numbers a bunch more rounds. Do or die situation in my mind for Space Soldiers here. If they drop this round, in all likelihood, numbers should be able to finish it out on their CT side. So what do? They play not extremely passive. They are at least contesting middle. They do have a smoke down inside of the halls, and numbers isn't switching anything up. Just getting halls control, getting banana control, and then we're going to see them shift back and forth depending on how the opening picks go.
You can see Twist has actually made his way to the other side of the smoke at top banana, right at sandbags, and he's going to get an anchor down in that position. And the rest of the T's are going to be slowly moving up towards truck side, it looks like. Actually working a boost up over the smoke towards arches, and they're actually going to find Despy, but they only are able to take him down to 84. And it looks like he's going to get peeky again here, and he's going to lose his life as Zendi. Nice shot from him. They continue to take up arch side. 2GUX, though, trying to defend. Will only be able to get one. So the trade's coming out from the T side, but they are very low at this point. Only an E1 coming up with some frags, and the Devil Walk left up. And it's actually going to bait a plant 1v2 for him as he took down only. But that is going to be the extent of his success. Space Soldiers, again, very critical round that they pick up 2 in a row, and they do so.
Yeah, really good round by them. They needed that to have a good shot in this match. Now, numbers, probably not used to saving, as it's been quite a while for them. But going with a Tech 9, a few Tech 9s, and I'm thinking they're going to go towards B with a pop flash, if my guess is correct at the start of the round, because they've had some early success fighting against the rifles when they have pistols, and that is what's going to happen here. E1 and Xantar is getting aggressive, and oh man, they got massacred this time. Not ready with the pop flash. Space Soldiers making the first move, not allowing the numbers to set up that pop flash, and good timing by the Space Soldiers to go for that aggression.
Yeah, good stuff. They do lose Xantars, but only one frag. Not too bad for the CT side. Numbers back on a full buy round. Getting AKs across the board. Really good nade sets. No Molotovs to note. That's one thing that they are missing in their arsenal, but we'll see if it takes effect on the round. As the CT side, we got Despy and 2GUX still rocking those FAMAS rifles. And again, not exactly what they would want, but at this level, honestly, this is not... These players, they practice with those weapons as well. So, Schneider, big frags early on here. 2 of them as he's only dropped down to 50 as well, so still very viable as a fragger from this point onward. But now, how does Space Soldiers adapt as Despy and Xantars are tasked with trying to defend this A bomb site? But the pressure that numbers just put on, they don't have to commit to this. They still have a full minute to rotate back if they want to, and it wouldn't be a bad idea at all, as we can see on our radar that they've rotated, again, 2 players off towards A, and only have everyone at B, and I realize that sounds very confusing.
Oh, yes. Every time I hear it, something in my brain's just like, wait. But, yeah. And one thing I was thinking about, I'll go into that afterwards, because Space Soldiers in this position have to make a choice of either spread out or stack, and that's what Numbers is looking to exploit here. So they're putting a little tiny bit of pressure towards Banana, and Space Soldiers forced to overreact. Now Numbers hit up the second part of their plan, execute onto A when they've drawn some of the Space Soldiers over. Just all around good stuff by Numbers, showing that how much of veterans that they are. One thing I want to note, though, coming into the next half, I was kind of writing Space Soldiers off a bit, but we always highlight that their T side is one of their biggest strengths. So even if they lose this half, they might have a shot.
Yeah, could definitely make it happen on the T side. That being said, Numbers, they have definitely brought in a nice scoreline on their T side. So E1 left in a situation that's going to possibly work an exit frag in this dark spot near CT spawn. And they are all going to exit towards middle instead for the T side. Good stuff from them as they're realizing, it would have been nice, I guess, to strip away E1's weapon, but in the same side of the coin, they decide to save their own weapons. And you can see that they, instead of having to rebuy weapons for anybody that they lost hunting, they can actually get everything that they'd like in terms of nades. Again, now we see 3 Molotovs make it onto the field compared to the last round. So, again, we'll see how that comes into play. Despy, able to get an op in this round, is going to be a glass cannon, as he's got no armor for it. But, we'll see how passive he decides to play, as he has been punished in mid a little bit here. And Ooh, very quickly, we've got Schneider already out on Arch side. And I like the fact that Despy, he has fallen all the way back, and he gets the shot on Schneider. Good stuff from him.
Yeah, Despy got a little lucky there. Once again, he got caught on one of the pillars at mid, but numbers just weren't able to get there in time, and eventually do trade off onto Despy, who's continuously peeking Library. Now trying to get a nice little wrap into the A-bomb site. Everybody coming from Arch side. Only peeking out from the site. They line up for him, but it's not going to matter. 2Gux, last guy in the site here from the pit. Flank coming through from the Space Soldiers. If they're not careful, they can make a move back to B, but not going to matter. 7-8 in favor of the numbers, and as close a half as can be.
Yeah, it is technically going to be a half victory for the numbers end. I'm going to be happy with that moving into their CT side, but yeah, very close. Space Soldiers bringing it back. Definitely could have been a more convincing scoreline here for the numbers end on their map choice, but this match is brought to you guys by Alpha Draft. If you guys are interested in esports fantasy stuff, I highly recommend checking out alphadraft.com, as we actually have our matches for tonight up there. I haven't actually built a roster for tonight. I'm gonna have to do that after this. Anyhow,
I started. We actually have JDM is worth over 10K based upon his performance last night. Over 10K.
He was on train. Of course, he's gonna be a god. Oh man. All right.
And that's
well,
the thing.
He's
If you're a student of the game, you could kind of exploit that. So I mean, maybe he'll just go off and prove me wrong once again. But yeah, based upon his previous performance, that amount of worth for him is a little ludicrous for me. But I guess you can warrant picking him.
And honestly, if you look at Train, I can remember the first rifle round they had where they had him with an op, because it was a CT side start for CLG. He found two really nice opening frags, one at mid, and then he hops up on top of the train and gets a sick flick on another player that's across on top of the other train at mid. So it was insane. So honestly, and that's huge impact. If you're going to get an op onto the field, you would like it to be an impactful rifle, especially even in the round that you first get it in. So again, JDM, one of those players that you might want to add to your roster there. But again, Alpha Draft, again, like Laser was saying, if you're a student in the game, you got tons of knowledge on all these players, you're going to do well there. You're definitely going to do well there.
Or even if you don't and you just like to gamble.
This is true. This is true. And if you haven't participated in any of that kind of stuff before, they do have a free contest. So you can basically build a roster where it's in a free league, and you actually do end up, if you're in the top 1,000 out of 2,000, you could actually win 10 cents, and then start working up from there. So anyhow, guys, check out Alpha Draft, as they are one of our main partners here at RGN. But just waiting for this to go live. Looks like we got 9 ready, and again, the next map is going to be Dust 2, and that was a map that Space Soldiers was able to best Gamers 2 on, as that was their opponent for the first match in bracket stages. Again, best of 3 versus them. It was Cash Dust 2 Cobble. It was 16-11 Cash for Gamers 2, 16-10 Dust 2 for the Space Soldiers, and then 16-13 as they dropped that third and final map on Cobblestone. So again, we're going to have numbers now on the CT side. Definitely had a good half for themselves. Now, Space Soldiers, it's up to them. Like you were saying, good D side. Let's see it.
They need the T-pistol, of course. I mean, if numbers go up 11-7, then win that next gun round, suddenly that 13-7, it's all going to fall apart from the Space Soldiers from there. And they're going to go with the oldest strat in the book, the good old B-Rush. They do get the trade on the first player. However, numbers do have it stacked. It's not going to matter. Pop has to come up big. Now, an additional player already here for numbers. Perfect read on this situation. And now only 2 Space Soldiers remain with very little HP.
Oh yeah, Xantaro's getting the bomb set here. They do have another smoke to work with, but already posted up here is Devil Walk. Nice shot as he takes down Xantaro's. Only Despy with the CZ-75 is going to be able to take him down. Did he spot Schneider? He did, but Schneider going to get the better end of that trade. And pistol, like we had stated, pretty critical for the Space Soldiers. It was close, and for the banana bust that they tried, the fact that they ran into 3 players pretty early there, not too bad at all, but ended up going to Schneider.
And what's interesting is how fast the 4th player got there from numbers, or maybe it was just the 3rd. I think he was playing Arch side and just kind of preemptively rotated a bit, because there was way too many players there for numbers. The Space Soldiers had to be a little confused. But with getting the bomb down, they're going to buy up a bit and then go for AKs in the net. And what I want to see is this Deagle of Xantaro's. He's the only player that has one of those, and he sacrificed. I mean, that's a real expensive pistol. Instead of having a few more nades coming into their next round, Let's see if the young gun has anything to do for the Space Soldiers this round. Just rattling some shots off to the smoke. He's the only member at Banana as the rest of the soldiers try to take control of the halls. But Numbers just playing everything passively, and they're not going to give him any opening.
Yeah, and this is where, like, we talked about the back halls control and stuff like that, how CTs, they want that kind of control, as then they're not as in the dark. And around like this, it's actually not as bad to leave it open, because those close angles inside of back halls, very potent for a lot of the weaponry that you can get on the T side for the saves. So, oh yeah, it's terrifying. So instead, they play these further back positions. I like it. Santar's, though, opening up. Finds one with this Deagle, not able to connect on the second, but Despy is there to do so. Xantar's, once again, is going to connect, but the hit points on the T side, very low across the board, but it still is a 2-on-3 in their favor.
Yeah, can't even add 100 HP together. Now Twist, last guy up, swinging around with that MP. Now just 2 guys inside of the site with the M4. Twist whips up the pistol, and he gets the frag. That was so big for the Space Soldiers. If they would have snuck away with that round, and then would have had guns on top of it coming into the next, they are still going to be able to buy here, thanks to 2 bomb plants for them. And this is a big opportunity for them, because if my math is right, their economy is going to be actually better than Numbers at this point. And yeah, that's the case. So if Space Soldiers can win this round, the economy of Numbers is going to be shot, and that's what they need. They need to keep Numbers on the save to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, look, Devil Walk having to go with the CZ75, and that is it. Not fun, as, like you stated, the economy looking really good here for Space Soldiers. So can they utilize this advantage? That is the question, as, ooh, big nade comes down from the CT side early on. A second one to follow. Xantars and Tugux both brought down to half HP. Despy, though, will be able to take down Schneider, so early advantage, as he is going to crawl into underpass him. Just make sure he is safe. No trades come in for that CT side. And now where do they decide to go with things? They've got the man advantage. They've got banana control. They've yet to control back halls. So that real estate's still open. I'm wondering if that's going to mean they head towards the B-bomb site. But Xantar's taking advantage of that low HP by Poff. Tugux, though, is able to trade, so going back and forth. It is going to be a 4-on-3, and now the CT is going to have to spread their defense pretty thin, and they actually gamble and send an extra player to B, and we can see that that may not be the best decision.
Yeah, Devil Walk, former Fnatic superstar versus 4 here, and everybody on his team is at the other bomb site, playing from the pit, and all the Space Soldiers, are they splitting up, or are they going to split? Now they're just staying patiently. Everybody's just posted up. They don't have a lot of time here. They're waiting for some CT to peek. Eventually, Zendi's going to do it, but Space Soldiers might line up for him. Now, Zendi has given Devil Walk a better chance here. Devil Walk lets him go by in the site. Now looking for Despy. He's so low. Finishes off Despy. Just one player remains, and that's going to be Twist. He's very far away. Oh, man, if that bomb fell into pit, that would have been the round. 1-on-2 here. Twist on the approach from Moto. Smokes off the pit. Has to deal with the crossfire. And E1 from the graveyard takes the round for the Space Soldiers. 8-10 now, and now on the save is Numbers.
Yeah, that was a nice round there from Space Soldiers. Again, they go down in hit points pretty early, but they are able to grab the advantage against Schneider getting dropped first and foremost in the round, and it all just kind of plays out from there. Space Soldiers working their advantage as well. Can they continue it, though, as they are going to be facing up against a forced buy here? They decide to spend all their money on that CT side, so this actually could...
Devil Walk with the most unselfish play just gives Schneider a FAMAS and goes with the P250. No armor, no nades, nothing.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's awesome to see. Remember last night I was talking about when we were watching Train, and Hades picked up a scout but did not give it to Shazam, and I was upset about that. And then got wrecked. Exactly. So it's like, I don't know your strengths on your team and utilize them, and gives it to Schneider, as he knows he's looking pretty darn good right now at the top of the scoreboard. And it is going to be a little bit of B pressure here, but with the bomb still at T-stairs, they got some options. But this round is not working out. Schneider, there we go. See? Devil Walk hands him the weapon, and he does the dirty work. 2 frags for him, only an E1 left on the field.
Yeah, it's just such a sick play. Instead of having 2 players that are slightly weaker, why not have, Devilwalk sacrifice his weapon this round, give it to Schneider, and may have a very potent player who eventually is going to win the round for them. They haven't won it just yet, but Space Soldiers with 2 thinking about coming up the arch side where Schneider was in wait, now giving up the position. So depending on if they wrap, they are going to wrap given the amount of time they have left. Devilwalk picks up the scout, takes out one, traded off by only from the pit is Twist, just got to stay alive. 10 seconds remaining. Schneider en route. And just going to try to get something out of the round here is only. He does get bombed down. They may have lined up for him. And Space Soldiers do falter. But highlight of that round is the unselfish play by Devilwalk.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And if you're Schneider, I doubt it was even him necessarily asking for it. It was probably Devilwalk making the play. Just because, again, maybe, I'm sure they've got pretty good chemistry and that one player could ask for that kind of thing without the other player saying, like, what, you don't think I can do it instead or whatever?
But members.
Exactly. They're very, very experienced players in that respect. And again, it's awesome to highlight a little tiny move like that ended up bring them the W in that round. So good stuff. Now Space Soldiers back on Eco. It's 2GUX this time. He's going to try and flex his Deagle as he gets dropped immediately. Not even able to show us anything with it. So only an E1. Last one's on the field once again here, as this would be very nice for the CT side to get through flawlessly, as their economy is on a lower level at the moment, but now they're not going to have to rebuy anything coming into this next round.
Yep, save nades, already got their upgraded pistols, going to be hovering at good chunk of change, able to buy if they drop this one, and that's where you want to be on the CT side. You want to have the ability to lose a round, and then immediately buy up thereafter and put the opposition back on the eco. Well, that's the objective here. And Space Soldiers just want to win one. At 8-12 now. A couple gun rounds away from ending it is the numbers side. Space Soldiers going for early banana control here. 3 players here from numbers. A bit spread out by a Molotov. Actually, Twist just treading in between both of those and continuing their aggression. This start from numbers, so good. Having 3 players there early and just delaying at mid with smokes. What do you do if your Space Soldiers there? Because either you have to fight back or fall back, and you have nowhere to go at middle because it's smoked off. Just tricky stuff at the beginning of the round from numbers.
Yeah, and they're going to push through banana as well. Twist takes down Zantars, has no idea that they've pushed up right behind him. He was just residing in the underpass area. E1, last one on the field. This is looking a little bit bleak for him. Again, we're taking economics into play. Would love to grab a frag or two and make certain that these CTs have to rebuy a couple weapons at the very least. He's going to move down to Boiler. Zendi watching the spot, though. What a shot from him as he crouches into the headshot radius and makes it happen. 13-8. Space Soldiers are going to have to eco in this round. They have no other choice with how much money they have, and it should be numbers moving up to 14 rounds. So numbers looking to close this out. It is their map choice, and Dust 2 is where things might get interesting here for, again, the Space Soldiers, able to best Gamers 2. But one thing to note...
What was the score on that, by the way?
Dust 2, 16-10 versus Gamers 2, and they won that map. That was the one map that they were able to take versus Gamers 2.
Gotcha. And the other statistic I want to bring up is, even though numbers lost it versus Na'Vi, it was 16-13 versus Na'Vi, and Na'Vi's world class on Dust 2. So numbers...
Ooh, yeah.
Even though it's Space Soldiers map pick, and even though they bested Gamers 2, I guess it's still a decent chance for Space Soldiers, but 16-13 versus Na'Vi, that's a juicy score.
Oh yeah, certainly. Especially if Guardian's on. They are a terrifying team on Dust 2. But in this round, we see 2GUX getting dropped, and are going to try and send Despy out of Boiler, but he gets dealt with quite easily by Zendi. So only 3 Ts left. They are still stuck in mid as another incendiary is going to come down. Zantars, he's going to get taken down to Schneider. He's done. He's done with it. Decides to push on up, takes through apartments, and will take down 2 Twist to finish the round. Again, 14-8, as even if Space Soldiers win a round, look at the economy here for the CTs. They are sitting at a really good spot.
Yeah. Schneider, he just wants to see some sand at this point. Ready to move on to map number 2. Again, being Space Soldiers' choice. Now, where we're at here in this map, Space Soldiers got to win out. They can't afford to, win a round and then lose a round. So they got to string 2 together in a row before they can even think about putting numbers on the save. You know, what's their... Could be last gun round strat, trying to get banana control. Numbers not having 3 there this time, but still thinking about aggressing. Spamming through the smoke a bit. Xantares is there. Now looking for the second one. Pop lines one up. There's the second one. Now gets out of there. Space Soldiers really needed to get that second trade onto Poff. Now down 3 versus 4. I guess not the worst of situations, but ideally you at least want to trade evenly.
Oh yeah, certainly, and that was the second defender as well. So the fact that they don't take him down... Ooh, Hugux. I wonder if he was just staring through the smoke and saw him on the radar or something like that, but that is going to be the death of Puff, and luckily they did rotate Zendi over and actually Devilwalk on his way as well. This is a good read from them as Space Soldiers are committing to this. And Zendi, he is going to take down 1, make it 2, Devilwalk with the 3rd.
So tricky.
Yeah, great stuff there from Numbers. Once again, playing a posted-up position at that sandbags area. You don't really expect, once you've killed players in that area, for the rotators to come in and take their spots in that aggressive position.
Yeah, and that's the exact thing I was going to highlight, is him moving into sandbags after they died, and then Devilwalk peaks, pretty much guaranteeing that Space Soldiers is not going to check sandbags at that point. Because you would never expect that many players to be there, let alone in aggressive positions, and then peaking late. So, Numbers, lots of tricky stuff, but this round, oh man, this is some smash mouth stuff, just trying to rush down mid, and right here and now, Space Soldiers have trade 1 for 1, but Zendi is going to take the lead. Only Despy, as well as E1 remain here, grouped up at middle, 1 from the pit, 1 right behind him, and Numbers are just going to slowly constrict around them. Schneider thinking about pushing down apartments, creeping down. Banana is Poff, or he's having second thoughts, but Space Soldiers are likely on their way out here.
And Poff not going to give him anything towards Banana, just going to play back at Spindle here, and angle he was playing was an interesting one. I think he was completely hidden until they walked up into the bomb site, but E1 onto Schneider. Nice shot there, as we'll be able to even things back up. So now, Numbers. He can play 1 at each bomb site, which is what they're doing, or they could try and play the guessing game, but they are just going to, once again, leave 1-on-1. Poff get a call out that he has heard them, and he spots out Despy, can't find the frag, though, leaves Zendi in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, he's going to need to have a nice little 4K to bring this one home for the Swedes here. I'm not sure if he spotted E1. Yes, he does now, and hits him with a headshot. Despy from the construction. He's not going to peek. He's going to allow Zendi to move around and then go for the flank maneuver. It's going to come down to Zendi realizing what's going on, peeking back and forth between Garden, now looking CT, spots out Despy, but Despy has a good read on the situation, peeks at a good timing, and now Space Soldiers have moved on to 9 rounds. Problem being, how do you break this Swedish bank? And you don't.
Yeah, and like we were stating earlier, where there was the 1 round that came in for, I believe it was actually the T side once again. What I'm getting at is it's actually in the 14th round of the last half, where finally the one team won a round, but it was where it was a 1-on-1. So you can see that the T side, although they do have weapons in this round, not exactly the equipment that they wanted behind it, as they kind of had to sacrifice needs just to get rifles onto the field. But we will see a trade 1 for 1. Ooh, only an E1 though. Nice frags, as now it is going to be to their advantage. E1 just storming around the map at the moment. Only Poff and Schneider here, as Schneider, he is going to stand strong at the A bomb site, takes down 2 for himself. Not going to be able to find the 3rd, leaves Poff all alone, but coming in quickly from the Moto area.
Now 1 in the pit, still without the bomb down. Poff going to try to rush through. Oh, can't get it done. Tugok finishes him. Now Space Soldiers on to their 10th round, but still that economy is unbroken from Numbers. However, if Space Soldiers win this one, yeah, they will have broken the economy, but the round loss bonus will have been accumulated by Numbers, where they're not going to have to double save it all. So still not looking bad at all from the Numbers side. Still got a lot of rounds to work with, and still pressure on Space Soldiers. And that round had some nice opening picks inside of the apartments, despite, I think it was Twist who got the opening frag at middle. So Space Soldiers able to respond with a flurry of frags up into the apartments. Now looking to close this out is the Numbers. Poff creeping down Banana. They really favor this Banana aggression, and they do it quite well. I mean, you can learn a lot from how they aggress down Banana. It's safer than other teams do it.
Yeah, this is nice as Puff is going to be left as the lone defender on this Banana area, and on Space Soldier's end, they are trying to boost up and over the smoke, but Puff not playing on that right side of the car, or his right, I guess Space Soldier's left, but if he was playing in that angle, then we can see a number of bullet holes that probably one of those bullets would have connected, but again, he's playing a bit of an off angle, and it's working out pretty well for him, as again, they're still not able to aggress down, and in middle, we can see that actually it's only to open up as he's going to take him to the apartment. So now backhauls control here for the T side, but E1 gets dropped. Zendi onto Despy as well, and they are dropping here as it's only Xantars and only left on the field, and only takes down Schneider. So 2-on-2. Twist still left inside of the A bomb site. He needs to come up big as his teammate nowhere to be found.
Really good. Xantar is now trying to spam down. Only needs to drop him immediately because the other CT is on his way and he's running out of time. Already pushing up through Moto, and that's going to be checkmate. That looked like the shot killed him. He must have shot his grenade midair or something. 16-10 for Elite, and we're on to Dust 2.